Hey, come on in, everybody. Come on in. I just want to talk to you a little bit about myself. My name is Rosalind, and I'm a breast cancer survivor. I have been in remission for 3 years now. I had stage 3 breast cancer in my right breast, under my armpit, and my lymph nodes. Yep. Ooh, what is going on there? Sorry, y'all. That hurts. Like I said, uh, I was stage 3 breast cancer. And what is so sad about this, y'all? I was going to urgent care once a week for 2, maybe 3 good months. I mean, once a week, faithfully. Faithfully. Because the usage of my left arm went like down quick. I was in constant pain. I couldn't even lift up a pot off the stove. The usage of my left arm diminished quickly. Quickly. I'm going to urgent care every week. I kid you not, every week. For 2 months. Oh, it was this, it was that, it was this, it was that. Every week, a different doctor had a different what it is. And it wasn't none of that. None of that. So eventually, on the last week that I went there, after going there for like 2 months straight, every week I'm there. Once a week I'm there. Oh, God, I got a little cold, y'all. This one doctor, a female doctor, she said, Rosalind, she says, we've dropped the ball. She said, you've been coming here for a while. She says, change into this gown and then lay down on the table. And I did. She gave me a breast exam, y'all. I mean, she was digging really down deep, 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 deep. She said, wow. I said, doctor, what's wrong? She didn't say nothing. She got done. She said, okay, you can get dressed. I'll come back. So she knocked on the door and she came back in. And she told me that, she says, Rosalind, she says, I believe that you got breast cancer. She says, I'm going to send you across the street at the imaging place over there where they do ultrasounds and, all those different type of pictures, So I went over there because, they were expecting me. She says, I'm going to call you back today before I go home. She said, it might be late, but I'm going to call you back. I says, okay, doctor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 o'clock went by. I get a call at 6:15. It's from her. She says, well, Rosalind, I told you I was going to find out. She says, what do you want, the good or the bad news first? I'm like, tell me the bad news, doctor. She says, I believe that you have breast cancer. My heart just dropped. My life literally just stopped. I'm thinking, oh my God, I got cancer. I'm going to die. When you hear the word cancer, I'm just going to be real. You think of death. Because we all know cancer is a killer. Then she says, you want to hear the good news? I said, yes, doctor. She says, I told you I was going to find out. She says, and I did. She says, you need to go see an oncologist at this point because you need to get in some type of a treatment plan. So I said, okay, doctor. I'm like, is there someone that you would refer refer me to go see. And she gave me a couple names, and then I asked her, I said, in your honest opinion, where would you go? And she told me, KU Medical Center in Kansas City, Kansas. Oh, so I called them. The very next day, I called them, and I got an appointment. But it's a process. You have to go see. You have to go see 2 people before you actually go meet your doctor, because it's like you're on a team. You have a team of doctors, which I think is really good. You have a team of doctors that work with the doctor. So I finally got to go see the doctor. And he said, okay, well, he said, next step is next. He says, I'm going to do a mammogram on you. And we're going to let that come back, and then we'll talk. So I did a mammogram the same day. 3 days later, they had scheduled me to come in to see the doctor. He wanted to do an in-face visit. So I went in to visit the doctor and everything, He said, well, Rosalind, he says, it is confirmed. He says, you have breast cancer. He says, and the tumor, he says, is pretty big. It's pretty big cancer. He said, I'm going to say you're like a 2+. 2+, and your cancer is aggressive. It was this rare type of triple negative breast cancer. Something like that. I might not be saying it right. But, so anyway, he said, next week, he said, we're going to start doing your chemo. He says it's going to last about a half an hour. He says, I want you to come to chemo 1 day every 3 weeks. So I did. Time went on. I'm just thinking, boy, this chemo is guaranteed to kill it, because that's what chemo does. Well, after 6 months of getting that IV drip, it stopped working. After getting sick, 3 days after my treatments, 3 days after treatments, consecutively, throwing up, couldn't eat, all food, water, everything tastes like rubber. I couldn't do nothing. I was in my recliner, literally just there. That's where I slept. I was bad off. So after 6 months of getting sick, the chemo stopped. I asked him, well, when did it stop? He says, I don't know. I'm like, well, you don't know. I'm like, well, has it done any good at all? He said, yeah, it did shrink it some, but it stopped. So I'm like, okay, doctor, so now what's next? He said, well, we're going to find you a study to go on. And then after that study, you'll go on another study. He said, because your cancer is inoperable. I'm like, huh? I'm like, well, why is that? He said, because it is wrapped around so many of your nerves under your armpit, in your lymph nodes. He says, if we went in there without that cancer being killed, it would do more good. It would do more damage than it would do good. I'm like, oh, doctor, this can't be true. This can't be real. So I left him. I called my sister. I was telling her all this bad stuff and everything. And she told me that somebody on her job had the exact same type of cancer that I had. And they went to go see this doctor at KU Medical Center Same place, but this doctor was known for my type of breast cancer. So I made an appointment with her, and I think I went to see her about a week later. She didn't waste no time getting me in, because I'm sure she knew that I was a stage 3 at that time, so we didn't have no time to lose, because breast cancer stops at stage 4. So I went to see her. I'm going to rush this story up really quick because it's a long story. So I went to see her. She put me on this really, really, really strong type of chemo, man. The chemo was so strong, it had me in a wheelchair where I couldn't walk. I couldn't even stand up. I could not get in a bathtub or out of a tub by myself. My daughter would have to get in the tub to lift me out of a tub to put me back in the wheelchair. I was messed up. But because I was so far in cancer, my doctor had to come proactive, and that's what she did. And I'm going to end this on a good note. Your care that you get when you're battling cancer is a major, major factor. If you got a doctor that really don't care, you'll know it. And once you find out they're not going to fight for you, you get another doctor. Because everybody's life, everybody counts. All of us are somebody. And I'm going to get off on that note right there. But I just wanted to share that with you. My name is Rosalind. I am a stage 3 breast cancer survivor. And I would not be here right now if it wasn't for God and God directing me to the right doctor. Thank you.